Hello, welcome to African in New York. I'm Deogracius Joseph Mhela. Today we have a guest, Janice Lathan, the founding director and president of Powering Potential. Janice, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Deogracius. It's a pleasure to be here. Well, as you said, I'm the founding director of Powering Potential. I started this organization in 2006 after I went to Tanzania on a safari. And I became very inspired by some students that I met there after I introduced myself to them in Swahili. And I decided that I wanted to bring computers to the school where we had visited on our safari. And then I raised money for a solar energy system. And then I got a generous grant from a friend and was able to buy a small computer network. And so that school now has 20 computers, and we now have our program in 10 schools in 3 different districts in Tanzania.
You provide computers where there is no electricity. Is that true?
That's true. And that was a big obstacle we had to overcome, so we decided to install a solar energy system at the schools.
I understand that this is making a difference because it's not only about providing access to computers, but also creating the educational content materials and help the students to use it. I mean, how has been the response of the local community, students and teachers and parents?
Well, it's been overwhelming to me. After we had installed the computers, I was speaking to the headmaster one day, and he told me, Janice, all these students are transferring into our school. And I said, really, why? And he looked at me like I had 2 heads. He said, because of the computers.
Our organization is Powering Potential. We thought about this problem and came up with a simple idea of bringing the computer to remote village schoolrooms without waiting for the electrical grid to arrive. Our solution is a marriage of solar power and low wattage computers. First, we installed solar panels on the rooftops of remote village schoolhouses. Then, we equipped the schoolrooms with energy-efficient DC-powered computers. Finally, we loaded these computers with digital content, Wikipedia entries, math and science videos from Khan Academy, e-books of world literature from Project Gutenberg, and more. Wouldn't you love to be part of our Kufikiria na Ubunifu, our creative idea? Please visit us at poweringpotential.org and lend your hand in what we are trying to achieve.
How do you measure the progress of the program?
Well, we measure it based on how many schools we have our program in, how many students have gone through the program and received the training. And how many hours of instruction we've given, and then also what the students are doing now with what they've learned. For example, there are at least 4 teachers that I know of, and there's probably more, who have gone on to college to get degrees related to computer science. For example, our country director was the physics teacher at our pilot school. And after we put computers in, he got very interested in computers, and he decided he wanted to go back to college and get a degree related to computers. And so he did, and he has since graduated. He now has a Bachelor of Engineering degree in Information Systems and Network Engineering. That's one example.
And how do you see this program in the next, like 10 years from now?
Well, we're hoping to implement this proposal that we presented to the government when we're starting out 3 years with 54 schools. And we would just like to keep going. It's just dependent on funding. The more funding we get, the more schools that we can implement our program in.
We're talking about sending technology and computers to rural areas where electricity is still an issue. So, and then you are using solar power in order to, make those computers work. So I'm talking about the technical part of that. Are there other people who are helping you with that?
Yes, there are, and they're here in the studio.
Well, I helped Janice as a member of the advisory board with running the organization, and my sort of specialty is software, so I'm a software engineer by trade.
These are very simple types of computers.
Well, they're simple, but they're powerful enough to provide full classroom experience to students. I brought one of these computers here, and this is just the board that essentially
And what is that?
Does all the processing. So this is the computer. This is what the sort of the heart of the system that does all the running the programs and doing all the stuff. So plug in a keyboard and a monitor and mouse and a power supply, and it pretty much works as a normal desktop computer.
Yeah. So how fast and how efficient are these computers?
They are, of course, not the fastest computer you can get in the world, but they are very, very adequate for what we do. So for basic computing, for browsing the web, for viewing educational videos, educational content, they are perfectly adequate.
My name is Ina Haynes. I was working at Teachers College at Columbia University in New York for 20 years as Director of Information Technology. And a few years ago, in 2009, my husband and I took a safari in Tanzania, and we visited the school, which was the pilot school that Janice referred to when you were speaking with her. And we saw the computers there. And I asked afterwards, who brought these, and is this somebody I can be in touch with? I would like to help. And I met Janice, I think, in January of 2010, and we've been working together ever since, and I feel very privileged to be working with Powering Potential.
So if I may ask you,
Yes.
you joined this organization after seeing what has been done in Tanzania, and the organization had to implement certain goals, and what are those goals, and what is the philosophy of this organization?
So the philosophy is in the name, to power potential. The important thing is to provide opportunity to people in Tanzania. And this happens through many different ways. One is the students in the schools who have the opportunity to work with computers. Tanzania is a developing nation, and as the economy develops, the new jobs will very likely require people who have a familiarity with computers. But it also, in the immediate term, provides an enormous library to each school. And otherwise, these schools that I visited, 6 schools with Janice a year ago, where the program had been implemented. And I think only one of them had a book library. They have a lot of challenges. They need more books, they need more textbooks for the students. Providing a digital library goes a long way to providing resources.
Yeah, and it's been working.
Yes.
And we now welcome Mr. Manny Hackman.
Hello.
Welcome.
I work with the technical aspects of it, and I'm specifically focused on the content that we put onto the computers. Also, the version that we use has exercises so that you don't just sit and watch. You interact with it a little bit too, where it tries to measure how well you've understood what you saw in the video and help you to know when you need to view a video again.
My question is, how do you develop this content? Does it take into account whatever is being, taught there as a curriculum?
We're working on that particular aspect of it right now.
I just want you to wind up by just saying something that everybody will remember what powering potential is.
Trying to put computer learning into the schools of Tanzania where they don't have power, they don't have computers, trying to bring them into the present.